Welcome to the Bubba Army YouTube channel. You think about how much of a head F it is with me, because some of my most profitable years is when I had a different lineup.
Sure.
And it was during this lineup change, and let's just go ahead and talk about the 800-pound elephant in the room, Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Manson had been with me since 1996, and the show had evolved into, we had all types of different, we evolved several different times. We had the original lineup with Cowhead and Guido and me and Manson.
Yep.
And then we infused Spice Boy as an intern, and then made him a co-host. And then I got rid of Cowhead and picked up Hatley.
Yep.
And then from there, that group stayed from 2000 till 2013. That was the lineup. That was the infamous Sirius XM lineup.
Correct.
And Dave Rice is the engineer. Big Dick and 25 Cent and God, yep. I had a huge staff back then.
We did.
I really wish I would have just kind of bare bones staffed it back then and not handed out so many $55,000 and $60,000. That's what I started guys out at. I started, Cigarette John, who was a video editor. I started him out at $45,000.
Damn.
Don't you guys get any ideas? But like I was way overpaying people. I remember Brent, Tom Bean took me aside and been like, "You don't have to pay Manson $600,000. You don't.
A year?
You can pay him $100,000, and that's better than any job in Tampa he could ever get, even if they were syndicated. You don't have to pay him that much." Shut up, Tom.
But a lot of that's a respect. Yeah, it's a respect thing too.
I know. I know, but my Lord. He saw, and then so that lineup turned into, I think when Spice left, we brought in Shannon Burke, and that was I really enjoyed that lineup. And then Tara was here for a little bit.
Yep.
And then 25 was a co-host.
Mm-hmm.
But the one seat that stayed occupied for 23 years was Manson, was now Lummy's seat.
Correct.
And then there was everybody. Brent left. Rob Gargiulo worked. He was here. Seth Kushner was here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Janessa was here. Lasker came in every once in a while. And then I fired Manson. Well, I didn't fire him. I didn't fire him at all. He quit.
Yep.
I told him that I wanted to have a meeting with him, and it was going to be me and Tom Bean having a meeting with him. And he was driving I'd given him my 2004 cop car to drive around, and I actually needed it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was driving Sumo's Cadillac, and my Cadillac, Blitz, I was having all kind the
overheating.
I couldn't rely on it anymore.
Right.
And I put a new radiator in it and everything like that. And by the way, I have it at the track, and it's King Kong. You can't break it.
I saw it's in one of our Instagram posts. It's in the back.
So
the one of you and Tyler.
I need my Crown Vic back just for my, because I'm not going to drive the smart car.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, Manson, can you bring, now you'd thrown a fit. I had Janessa on here on Twitch one night, and she was doing this yoga stuff.
Yeah, $199.
It was Bubba $199. It was July of 18 or 19? 18.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah.
19. Somebody tell me when it was.
Might have been 18.
I think it was 18.
Yeah, it was pretty early.
July of 18, maybe July of 19. You guys, your chat will tell me. And it's just her and I. Or Lummy, were you doing it?
Yeah, I was doing it.
It's me, Lummy, and Janessa.
So you remember, Bubba, when we were doing Bubba 199s, they didn't start out as 199s. They started as Bubba's Smoke Show.
Yeah, I was going to have hot chicks in here.
Yeah.
I would go down to the dollhouse and get some girls to come back.
Maybe we should start that back with the music.
No.
They're a handful.
That's the thing is it didn't work out well.
It didn't work out well because you can't control them.
Right.
No.
And they're either into it. Like, Blitz, if you had some really hot chicks that were into it, like, let's say the crowd that we had Bubba 199. Remember the feel when the bar crowd?
Just the energy.
Everybody, it was just so much energy.
Yeah.
Everybody was drinking and
having a good time.
And partying and having a good time, and the music was dead on, and it was just...
And only half the people can hear the music.
Right, and people were up and bustling around and getting drinks, and You know, like it just had a really good vibe. Well, if you could find, 6, 7, 8 chicks that you could bring in here that had that vibe instead of sitting there, looking at their Instagram.
That's about what it turned into.
Chewing gum.
When they would show up.
Right. And then drink all of our liquor and smoke all our weed and then pass out and then be mad at us.
Yeah.
When Lummy dumped them back off of the dollhouse because they were too effed up to work. They were supposed to be on Bubba 199.
Got mad, didn't paid.
Yeah, here's how it used to. We would go down to the dollhouse, get a hold of Warren. Warren would have like 3 dollhouse girls here, so we would get them here, like at 7:30, and we're like, listen, all the drinks you want, if you guys smoke weed, whatever, just party all you want. We don't care. We just want you kind of just, sitting at one of the tables and just being, kind of, and get involved with chat and maybe. Kind of maybe dance.
Interact a little bit.
And dance around, look a little sexy.
You don't want me to get naked?
No.
What do you mean?
Listen, I'm giving you $100 just to show up down here.
Okay, I'll take my top off.
No. We don't want that.
What?
We just sit there and kind of bebop around.
You're a weirdo. You don't want me to get topless?
So
What a creep.
That's kind of what they were saying, too.
That was kind of literally how it went. I was like, no, just sit there.
Yeah.
And look kind of hot and
look entertained.
And if you see a guy that oh my God, country girl, I love her. I'm here. Thank you for the 5,000 bits, country girl. Riz his. Oh my God, look at the chat. And by the way,
if you're getting all these bits, why am I not getting
yeah.
some?
So then they're hearing 10,000 bits and fit 20.
They think it's like dollars.
Purple headed jersey with 25.
Yeah, purple headed jersey.
So the girls we give them their $100 and or 150, and they're now absolutely. Because if you give strippers free anything,
they gorge.
They can't help themselves. It'd be like me going, like if somebody just dropped you off and said, don't worry about weight gain, but truly just go to this buffet and really,
as long as they don't run out of steak.
Yeah. But if I really, you and I could eat 2 big steaks with some, like shrimps, but some shrimps.
No,
and
some mushrooms.
It just, right?
Load up the plate at the Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or hurt a guy. And so,
Golden Corral, so
and then
gross.
Janessa would be here and to try to kind of help me wrangle them in. But she'd end up getting drunk and just it was actually kind of cool, but it was actually very volatile.
Yeah.
And so the girls we took them back at 10 o'clock. Lummy hand delivered them. Well, the girls make the night shift girls usually get there about 9 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
So when Warren, who is the manager owner, he would say get the girls back by 10 because that's when they usually start working. Right. Club's getting busy. From 8 to 10 is kind of perfect if you're going to have some strippers if they're going to go before work because 8 to 10 at a strip joint, ain't a lot going on there. Mm-mm. People are. The guy, it doesn't really start getting busy in a strip club, Lummy, till about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because it's like an after party, right, usually?
Kinda, yeah. It's like you've been out, and then next thing you know, you and 3 of your boys
don't
will be
want to
like,
go home.
hey, man, it's only 12:30. Let's go over to the dollhouse. Have a few drinks, right?
Yeah.
Hang out a little bit. Look
What
at some hot chicks.
Hell yeah.
Maybe get a lap dance or two. But, I'm not going to have sex with them. I'm not taking them home, but I might fall in love. By the way, Justin Nash is in love with Tiki, the 108-pound African-American dancer from Penthouse Club. Yes.
Oh, nice.
I bet he is.
He's like, after Barb, I went down there and literally just fell in love with this African-American girl named Tiki. I gave her like $350, and of course I didn't even get a phone number that worked.
That's the best way to do it, right?
Yeah.
No.
So anyway, we dropped these girls back off at 10. Now they're completely 1,000% hammered because they would, they didn't drink responsibly. Of course, we're not going to tell them no. We poured them whatever they wanted. And so they're drunk and they can't work. So Anna, they end up spending most of the night back in where the house mom is in the girls' locker room, sick, and somebody having to take care of them, puking and the whole 9 yards. Well, then word circulates, man, you don't want to do the Bubba Love Sponge show because he makes like $400 million. I was in there. This one girl told one girl, I said, I was in there and they got $66,000 in just like 20 minutes.
And they gave me $100.
And they gave me $100.
Made me sick.
And then made me drink a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And then took me back here, and I couldn't work that night because I was sick all night long. and they made I don't know how much money. Why we only got $100? I'm not going back for less than $500 next time.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, it was the easiest gig ever. They didn't have to rub any D or ask any guys if you want to buy a 2-for-1. They just sat there and drank and got paid $50 an hour.
Yep.
Don't take your clothes off. Don't play with your boobies. Don't do anything. Just look hot. And word circulated that it was don't go there. So we couldn't get any more girls. So we got girls.
Pain in the ass anyway.
It was. It's so much easier to deal with Reagan and Anna. Maybe the merch crick.
Rana.
The merch
That's
crick.
us.
Throw not a fan in there with an OFF chaser.
Mm-hmm.
Tease. That's just Heather Wiz. The roster lineup for 199s.
Yep.
All those chicks are hot. All those chicks are Bubba Army.
Cool.
And probably everybody would maybe blast them deep down if you could.
All of them.
Out of all those chicks I mentioned, starting at Reagan and going all the way to not a fan, and then everybody in between, you'd blast most of those girls if you were single, would you not?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Blitz, we didn't get a chance. Oh, so I guess you did answer. You do think I'm a good host.
Absolutely.
Oh, we were going through the timeline of the show. So we had that era, and then so we had these. Manson was mad because I was having Bubba smoke shows and Bubba 199s on.
And I wasn't a big fan of the smoke shows either, by the way.
I understand that, but everybody has to understand at this point that I'm just trying
Throwing
to,
everything at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
right. I'm not trying to push this on you.
No.
He wasn't required to be here.
Nope.
And, I'm just trying to find my way as to what works on Twitch.
Yeah,
Correct.
nothing wrong with that.
And, and that's why we've been continuing to be able to grow on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Year to year, we're up every year.
That's
Now, we
so
had
great.
such a great 2021 that I've actually had private meetings with Blitz saying I'm scared for 2022 because it could be our first year we dip.
Ooh.
But all indications are that we're not dipping, bitch.
No, we got hands on hips. We're ready to go.
When I dip, you dip. No, when I dip, don't you dip.
Yeah.
I dip, you don't dip. So we're just finding our way, and so that Manson gets all mad, and we get suspended from Twitch
For how long?
for 2 days. Was it 1 day or 2 day Blitz?
It was, I think it was 3 days, but
Okay.
one of those was a Sunday, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. So we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Then we got put into a timeout. Now they didn't. We just couldn't go on the air, and we ended up going on YouTube. We went live on YouTube, and
Okay.
And we were still on the radio.
right. We were still on terrestrial radio on 8 or 9 affiliates.
If you're banned from Twitch, can people still donate bits even if the show
No.
is not on there?
no,
Okay.
no. So whatever. His paycheck was going to steal cash.
Mm-hmm.
He hated Janessa. He hated her. He just anybody that's an attractive female at all.
He hated?
Well, he was so insecure, and so his wife runs the show so bad that he couldn't even be friends with a female.
I got you. Friendly.
Couldn't even be I work with her. One of the reasons why we never had a woman prior to except my sister was because his wife would flip out. I couldn't even hire Anna. You are nobody's having sex with you. Nobody wants. Well, I'm just saying, you wouldn't be pushing yourself on Manson. You would be like, hey,
Probably not.
he's a married
Anti.
man. I respect him. He does his thing. I'm not really interested. I'm not even. Not only am I not interested in your husband, I'm not really interested in any men's.
Right. I'm asexual.
Right.
I'm like a slug.
Yeah.
A slug.
So his wife would just make it I could not have. It was an underwritten code. I mean, am I not right, Blitz? It was an underwritten code that we couldn't have. And if we had females in the studio, he could either go to his office or leave.
What?
And it was never. Well, that part of it was written out, but like the whole female co-host thing was never directly said. It was kind of just known.
And
Understood.
Bubba did it out of respect to him.
But what
did.
about all the guests that you had that
Nope.
were hot chicks?
Nope.
What do you
he
mean?
was
no.
always gone.
No.
Oh, he was always gone.
But to his credit, when I hired him in '96, he was my first hire.
Mm-hmm.
He laid it out, and he was very honorable about it. He's like, listen, my wife just doesn't like me to be around women at all. with outside of her presence. And so any female host, first of all, no, I will not be on the air with a woman. And any female interview or guests, I need the ability to either go home or go work in my office.
That's literally insane.
Well, the ones that were like that would get naked and stuff is mainly what he meant.
Yeah,
but that was like every girl that was on the show.
Most of them, yeah.
Any stripper, but now hold on. This even went down to Hooters waitresses and wing house girls who would just drop off wings. And if I'd have two Hooters waitress sitting right where you were on, and I was just going to say, hey, Holly and Rhonda, thank you so much for coming on down, bringing us the wings. Can you tell us what location you're from? We're from the original Clearwater one. Okay, well, what you guys, what day shift, night shift? Like when you're what shift? So the Bubba Army can go down there and call and request you for a waitress and tip you up good.
Right.
Oh, that's great. I work usually lunches. Okay, great. You guys got boyfriends? Yeah. Man, you guys got some big knockers. Those are nice. Appreciate it. Hey, appreciate the wings. See you later. Like that would be when I was dealing with corporate Hooters, so I wasn't having their chicks, do anything like that. But and so, tell me about your calendar. Okay, well I'm June and she's October, and we're gonna be signing our calendars today at lunch on the original Clearwater Hooters, 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Like Blitz, how it would be.
Right.
And he couldn't even be here in here for that.
No, but he made that known up front, like you said. So that wasn't.
But he would just go to his office during that segment.
Yeah, my brother. He would just go to his office and work on bits. And it was a gentleman's agreement that we had. I never ever pushed it. I never even with the Hooters girls or even hot chicks dropping off free food for some brand new sports bar.
So in all those clips, like the serious stuff where there was naked chicks, he was just never there.
No, and that's not a problem.
Wow.
That's not a problem.
It wasn't an issue.
Not an issue at all. He wouldn't have contributed in any way, shape, or form. He didn't want to be there.
Did he ever express that he wanted to, but he was annoyed that he couldn't?
No.
Oh, wow.
He was truly in love with his wife, and it was out of respect to her. And you know what? That's an unbelievable amount of loyalty and chivalry.
Yeah, they've been married for, 30 years?
And they're still together?
Yeah, and they will be together forever. They're each other's best friend. And then probably the reason why is because of things like that. They really go the next level of honoring each other.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I had no problem with that.
Okay.
I had no problem with that. And to this day, if Manson came back, it would still be that way. Like that's the writer. That's the agreement you have to agree to in order to have him work for you.
Okay.
And it worked wonderfully until it didn't. And so, then he brings his son in, and he has his biggest misconception that his son's really, really a good radio guy.
Mm-hmm.
When his son is just not a good radio guy. He's kind of a funny stoner dude, and if you put him in that light and position him to be that guy, I can make him funny. On his own, they've had an opportunity to do it on their own. Maybe they should realize that who the real glue that keeps all this together. And now, I don't even know how I got into this topic, but I guess it's a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson should make this a standalone. The Bubba Manson deal. Bubba breaks down the Bubba Manson deal. And so I, out of loyalty to him, just like I've kind of involved my son in here, it's kind of I don't know. Him and I had been together for that many years that if I can take care of your family, I will. And your son's, in and out of being a fry cook at Beef O'Brady's and other just menial, not menial as far as how much you make, but just, that's probably not what he wants to do for a living.
Right.
Type jobs. And radio, if we could hand it down as we get older, and if our son could ever learn our trade, being a couple old timers, that's cool. I'd be like, yeah, you've been with me for 23 years. You're my number one guy, and now your son shows interest in doing this. Yeah, let's bring him in. Let's, out of respect to your family first and foremost, and you. But maybe we can have some fun, and we did have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
We did. He knows how to work. He's not a host. He's not a co-host, but in the right light, he's talented. And I gave him that opportunity. And he was constantly effing up and all this kind of stuff. And he was a liar. And the one thing I can't stand is for somebody who just hard sells a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had, like, there's a couple instances that happened where he just completely neglected or forgot to do something or refused to do something, and then he would blame somebody else, and then and I'll be like, Trace, if you did it, it's not a big deal. Just say you did it. Just say you did it. Oh, but I didn't do it, man. You guys are trying to get me off.
Setting me up,
man. It'd be like something as simple as Anna, like he would, didn't put a costume away and just laid it on the ground in the green room, and we did a bed, and he was supposed to be a chicken or a Hulk Hogan or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so he would go to the green room, and rather than to, pick up his props or whatever he used, he just literally throw them on the floor and expect people to pick them up.
Oh, that's not good.
Am I right?
But then say like, no, I put it away. That somebody must have went behind me, took them out, and put them there on the ground, and was trying to set me up.
Yeah, and be like, oh, dude, I put it away, but I bet you Colton, man, he went in there and threw it on the floor just to make me look bad.
Right.
It's like, listen,
and it was like stupid stuff like that.
So I'd take him aside and say, listen, buddy, stop. Like, stop with the work in it. Just own it. Okay, dude, I didn't do it, though. But you did. You did do it.
Right.
So then his dad would get involved, and we would have some discussions and things like that. And I actually did at one time, thought I could groom him and Colton and Tuttle into like a little sideshow. Mm-hmm. Like I've groomed, Tyler has a Bolts breakdown. Lummy's got a couple different shows. Blitz and Anna do a show. That's
Flapping Gaps.
Flapping Gaps, fragmenting off the mothership with co-hosts that are talented really does well for our business. It's really a nice little ancillary kick. And again, we were just all in on Twitch. We weren't even doing other stuff as far as monetize. We didn't have an OnlyFans. We didn't have a podcast. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have YouTube that we were turning money into. We didn't have none of that stuff. We weren't doing merch.
No, not then. Not
our own. Amazon would do it, and that's an absolute.
Yeah.
If you go and search Bubba Army T-shirt on Amazon, every one of them won't be us. Mm-hmm. It'll be all, and there's a whole bunch of knockoff. Oh my God, it pisses me off. I mean, it pisses me off. Listen, our official merchandise that we control and we make money from is BubbaArmyMerch.com.
Yep.
Or Bubba Army Shop or BubbaArmyStore.com. That's our merchandise. Oh, I still get little royalty checks every once in a while from Amazon for like $48 for the month, which, it means they sold, 8 or 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Bubba Army, I guess you get like
$1 a shirt.
You get like $3.05 a shirt or something like that. So they sold, but though that 15 or 20 shirts they sold could have gone right to me.
Yes.
The one, and we're the ones that are, making the money. So that being said, we went through that lineup, and so I had Janessa on with a $199 with some show horrors, and he just didn't like it. And he was mad, and then they were shaking their ass and doing various things, and we got suspended from Twitch for 3 days. Well, it wasn't going to affect his paycheck. Mm-hmm. It wasn't going to affect anything. And so, it was a mess up on my behalf. It's my show. I do share things with you because you've been here so long. And I trusted him. He was kind of like my confidant.
Sure.
He knew me. He knew the business. I'd always ask him for his opinion. And he didn't like this. So he called me up and told me, hey, I'm not interested in being on a show that has that type of stuff going on. And I said, Manson, this isn't any worse than what we were doing on Sirius XM. Just because you're not making, near the amount of money, I'm not asking you to participate in any of this.
So he wasn't even there.
No, this was at 8:00 on a Friday night. He'd been gone since noon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought he was like bamboozled into it by accident.
No,
and
he was at
he
home.
wasn't even present in the
but
room.
it got our account suspended, but she didn't like.
Yeah,
okay.
So I call him.
I see.
Now it happened to be Blitz, if you remember. So on Sunday, Twitch didn't get a hold of me and Blitz until Sunday morning.
Right.
That we were going to
like Sunday afternoon. I think.
Yeah, Sunday like at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
That's when we got our email saying, because it happened on Friday night, somebody complained and they took an algorithm, however they do it.
Right.
They reviewed it and then shot us an email, and Sunday our account's not working.
Yeah.
And that coincides with getting an email saying you guys have a terms of violation. Willie, it's your first strike. You guys are going to get a 3-day timeout. After the 3rd day, you guys can get back, but you're on super probation, yippee-yo. Okay, no problem. So I got that at 4 p.m. on Sunday. And I was, remember Blitz, I had a really bad sinus infection and stuff, and I literally, and this was before the 246 regiment, but I literally took pills, cold medicine, NyQuil, and went to bed at 4:30 that day.
Because we still had a show to do the next day.
Right, and I still had, even though I'm not going to be on Twitch on that Sunday, I still got 9 terrestrial stations, Bubba Army Radio, Tune In, all that. So, the show doesn't change. Nobody's taking a day. Everybody's reporting back to work on Monday, and no employees know about this. The only 2 people that know about this are me and Blitz.
Right. Well, it was all over the internet because obviously our channel was gone.
Right. So I wake up then at 4:30, and I take a shower. It's when I live in Odessa, and I was driving in, and it was 5. And I'm like, you know what? I was going to text Manson and say, hey, just to let you know, we got suspended off Twitch for a few days for my smoke show, but we'll be back on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I didn't give him that courtesy or that heads up. Because I woke up, took a shower, ate breakfast, got my act together. And by the time I'm on the road thinking about, being able to text, which you're not supposed to text on the road anyway, but that doesn't matter. It's 5:15. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to literally see him in 45 minutes. I'll explain to him before we go on the air what happened. And boom. Well, he knew Sunday night that we had been suspended. And so since I didn't get a call or a text from him, he had decided not to show up on Monday.
Whoa.
On his own. To show me, that he didn't like these bitches. He told you this was going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So I start the show. And he's not here. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And I think I waited till 7 o'clock. And I texted him, hey, are you going to come in? Are you sick? Are you okay? And he texts me back an hour later saying, I'm not coming. I'm not going to participate in that type of radio. When I'll be back when we're on Twitch. I'll be back that day. What day are we coming back? And I think we were scheduled to come back Wednesday morning. And so he then informed me that he was going to come back then. Well, that was Monday. So I called Tom Bean up and I go, Tom, here's what Manson's pulling. And here's why. And he's like, and Tom was familiar with the suspension because he's me, him, and Blitz are the ones that are on the account, to get the updates and all that kind of deal. He's master control with Blitz. They're more master control than me. I don't even really know what I'm doing in there.
We try to lock you out.
I know. They tried to make me not a moderator.
I know.
So I go, Tom, Manson refused to come in on Monday because of our suspension. And now Tom Bean is full hot because all along, Tom Bean, who's my business manager, and I got to tell you, if I just listened to Tom Bean, I wouldn't have nearly ever hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. But I don't listen to Tom Bean when I should.
You don't listen to anyone, really.
Shut up.
See?
So Tom, now all the long, while we're losing, when I got fired from Beasley and I lost, $1 million in salary, I cut Manson down. He went from 600. It's my business. It's not a HIPAA law or a violation, is it, Blitz? It's not a contract violation for me to discuss what
I don't think so.
I think I could very much say, hey, let me tell you what Lummy makes every 2 weeks. I think I can say that because I'm the one paying you, and this is what I'm the show. But I would never do that. But on people that leave and I way overpaid, I don't mind.
I'm curious to know.
I don't mind people knowing the figures at all. Mm-hmm. And maybe. You'll understand my position a little bit better when I pay people this type of money.
Right.
So when we were really rolling at our highest, Manson made $600,000 base, and
base a year.
Base $600,000.
Could make more with what endorsements.
I'm going to give them to you if you shut your mouth.
Oh yes,
Thank
sir.
you. 600 base, full family. Like I paid his insurance and his family's insurance.
Okay.
Which was like another $700 or $800 a month.
Oh yeah.
Because he had 3 kids, him and his wife, and we had. I'm thinking you guys remember we had like Aetna Gold Plus. Like we had the best insurance ever.
Right. Known to mankind.
Yeah.
Damn, what was that like?
I'll tell you what it was like, Blitz. It was $9,150 for the corporation to pay. $9,100 as a corporation to give my employees health
monthly.
Oof.
Yeah, but nobody remembers that.
Jeez.
I remember it. I almost qualified for it. And
Yeah.
Tom got taken away.
Yeah. Oh, Tom the Tree Man?
Yeah.
Not Tom B.
No, Tom the Tree Man got taken away.
All along, Tom takes me aside, even when we're making, a ton of money. He's like, listen, you can pay these guys whatever you want, obviously. But I look at comparative numbers of co-hosts in Tampa, Florida.
In the same market.
And then I look at, so I use that number. That's your low number. And then on the high end, I'm looking at co-hosts of other, regionally syndicated, Lex and Terry, Todd, Bob and Tom, guys like that. And I know what, and because agents talk.
Sure.
And, Manson's market value. I've never talked about this I've never talked about this. I don't know how I got into this topic. But Manson's market value, if you would take the highest paid co-host and parody guy in Tampa, and you'd take a guy that did this similar job for like Bob and Tom or Lex and Terry or something like that with XM Sirius.
And what year is this? Like 2006?
2006 through 2012.
Okay. That period.
That's 6 years. His value, what he on the upper end would have been about $250. That's what, and locally that's about a $45,000 job, and globally that's a $250,000 job. And I was paying him $600 with full family medical benefits, and now hold on, and 35% of all Bubba Palooza profits. I would hand him checks for anywhere between $30,000 and $70,000 for Bubba Paloozas. Let me emphasize that one more time. When we would do a Bubba Palooza, Manson would make between $30,000 and $70,000.
And that was like a weekend event or a day event?
No, we did about. Well, I mean, Lummy, you could probably can't count. I could go through them in my head.
I think 8.
We did Phoenix.
And that's just like a single day, right?
Yeah, that's being on stage for 50 minutes.
Shut up.
Well, half is Manson and half is Ned. And by the way, airfare with you and your wife, first-class hotel accommodations.
Jesus.
I mean, Blitz, when we traveled, I paid all the rooms, everybody's food. I mean, we stayed in suites because we were Anna, we were like, when we flew to Hard Rock, when we did our Vegas gig, we were like how, like Pearl Jam or somebody like that would play their little room, the Joint. Like they had a little, the Hard Rock's venue, and I think they may have remodeled it, but when we were there, it had like about a 2,100 seat capacity. So each of these casinos always have like a performing place where they put concerts and stuff. Some bigger than others. Mandalay Bay can do 16,000. The Joint in Vegas does about 2,500 based on, how big you are. Or a lot of times you'd be big and Hard Rock would just offer that, like, you could, because casinos have more money than they know what to do with. So they could be like, listen, Motley Crue or whoever, we know that you make $300,000 for a concert, and Mandalay Bay could put that many people in there to warrant paying you by tickets, but we're going to go ahead and just pay you your $300,000 and just offer extra VIP to 1,800 of our best clients and make it like a deal. And they would just pay the price. So you'd get a lot of big time people that play in these smaller rooms because the casino kind of back ends it.
Oh yeah.
So we were the artist. There were posters all around the casino of us. We had our own posters tonight in the Joint, Bubba Palooza starring Ned with all of our pictures. Blitz could probably send me a flyer. So when we when we did casinos, we were the act. And so you know how they treat the act? They gave us these lanyards, and we could go to the employee cafeteria and eat anytime we wanted.
Shut up.
No, for real.
Don't play.
They gave us these lanyards now, and
Buffet
casinos.
style?
No, again, yes, or made to order. But casinos have for their employees actually really nice cafeterias, kind of like what Google and Apple, you know, Blitz, how they have real, you know, like real cool places for their people to work. The casino has like in the back of the kitchen, they got like a little lounge. It's about the size of this room, and it's set up like a cafeteria, self-serve sodas, self-serve whatever, and then there's like kind of a little buffet line you go through, and then there's 2 chefs that'll make anything you want. And so when we would go there, we'd get there like on Thursday, and we'd have like one dinner that I'd pay for, a real fancy place, and then you could eat 3 meals a day and just hang out in the casino. So we did, we did Phoenix.
Christian 209,000 bits. Atlantic City. Vegas. Jacksonville. What's the one outside?
Hold on. New Orleans.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. Detroit. Fillmore.
Oh, I've been there many times.
Maryville, Chicago. Calgary. We may have done 10. I think we did 10.
Immokalee.
Anyway, I think we did about 10 on us. So he was making between 30 and 70. So call that another $500,000. Not per year, but over the lifetime. And so, I mean, I'm paying that guy that until 2012. Then we take a huge hit, and I knock him down to 350.
Which is still way above market value.
Yeah, way above market value. Pay him $350 for a few years. Then we take a hit, and I take him down to 100. And at this point, mind you, I'm not making any money. Like I think in 2017, my Bubba Radio Network lost $118,000. And then that was in 2017, I think. 2018, I think it lost like $46,000. And then 2019 was the first year that like we made some money. And we've been making money, you know, the business, you know, has been making money, you know, ever since. So at his lowest point, he was making 100. So here's a guy that's making $100,000 who falls asleep, whose bits now are getting just kind of tired. The net gimmick is out of the bag. Right. Your son is, you know, you're trying to be like, let me stick up for my son because, you know, Bubba does stunts with him and shot a blow dart in his ass, and I just know he's trying to run Bubba away, run Trace away. And the reason why he's trying to run Trace away is because Trace is so talented, and he just wants to keep Howard Stern. He wants to keep Trace down, and he does that by messing with me.
Bubba's can't go 1,500 bits.
Are you serious, buddy? You're making $100,000. I'm bringing your kid in here at, you know, I don't know, $9, $10, $12 an hour. It's better than frying French fries at Beef O'Brady's, letting him do an ancillary show, trying to help him, you know, get along. And you're thinking that for real? That's your conspiracy deal?
And like you said, money was tight. I mean,
money was
not like you could afford to pay him anything more than that.
I couldn't afford to continue to pay him $100,000. I just couldn't.
Well, I mean, even Trace, like you couldn't afford.
And him quitting is what turned the books. Him quitting. Me getting, a different feel and dynamic and a different crew. And now we've been through like 2 or 3 crews since him. But I think I got the crew I got now. I got a really good feel about everybody. For the first time, everybody likes each other.
Yeah, we get along.
Like for the first time.
The fans are always fighting now. We get along great.
Yeah. Like, Bubba, man, Anna sucks. I'm like, well, I kind of like her. Anna sucks. Bubba, Anna sucks. Fire her immediately. She just sucks. She's the worst. I hate her.
Yeah, I didn't mean to call you last night and say that.
I'm like, you know what? Anna's really been growing on me. I like her. Please don't say those things about Anna.
Bubba's cake was 10,000.
Reset.
I thought it was only 1,000.
I'll let you go on that one.
Thank you, sir.
So I call Tom and I'm like, this mother. I pay him $100,000 a year. I do all this. I'm trying.
Well, remember, wasn't it like when he came back then too after the Twitch ban? He was like, "Hey, you have to promote my show all the time." And
well, so that's when he proposed. Like he's like, And so I just say to him on Tuesday, on Monday after he refuses to come in, I talk to Tom and I send a text back to him and saying, I don't appreciate, this. Mm-hmm. I'd like to talk to you about this in person tomorrow with Tom Bean. And by the way, bring my Crown Vic back. Now, he's assuming that he's fired. Well, one, I needed my Crown Vic back, whether he ended up being Employee of the Year or quitting. I needed my Crown Vic back.
Yeah, you needed a car.
And who am I to just let you? I mean, I know that times were tough for you and times are tough for me, but it's my car. Just because you and your wife think you have to have two cars, I don't know. That's your deal. I'm trying to help you, and now I need to start taking care of myself because my Cadillac's on the fritz. And I got to have a reliable car to get back and forth from Odessa. So bring back your car just happened to be conveniently what I would have said to him on Monday had he showed up. And everything was okay. I need my car back, bud. And I waited forever. I even drove the smart car around for a few weeks before because I didn't want to bug him about him because I'm a man of my word. I told him he could borrow it. And he had it for like a month or two. But I also wanted to talk to him in front of Tom Bean about the stunts that he's pulling and this power play that he's trying to, do. And I don't appreciate it. I just don't appreciate it. And let's talk about, how your negativity around here. And let's talk about how every one of your parody songs is how stupid and fat and I've lost it all and I'm a cheater and I'm a fraud and all this kind of deal. And if you say that long enough, you're screwing with my head, quite frankly, as the host. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want to hear every one of your songs telling you how bad I am and how I've lost it all and I'm stupid and I'm fat and I'm a bad dad. My son hates me. Although all that may be true, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that's how you and your wife speak about me behind my back. Because that's what all of his parody songs were about. And he didn't think that I knew that. So instead of coming like a man, instead of coming and meeting me and Tom Bean, and at that point I was not going to fire him. I was just going to lay the law down. I was going to say, I need your car back. Because I got to drive it. And two,
you need your car back.
I need my car back. And if you're going to continue to be part of the show, you need to change your attitude. You need to stop. If I want to have girls in here on Friday and they're urinating in coffee cans and we're having the Squirt Olympics and we get fined and let go from Twitch, until that affects your paycheck, you don't have anything to worry about. You're not second in charge around here. You're not. Yes, you've been vested for 23 years. Yes, you're the most important cog in the whole deal. But at the end of the day, it's my business and it's my show. You don't have to go into your savings every other week or borrow money from your friends every other week so that I can pay your paycheck. You know how many times I had to call Tom Bean up and be like, Tom, the bank says we're $2,200 short for payroll. And do you know, as a man, how tough that is to have to ask, here you are, you believe in your product, you believe in your show, you think that you're going to be able to get ahead and get some traction, but you just can't financially support. Most radio hosts don't even know what it's like to have to do that. They just, sign on the dotted line and they're just little,
just an employee.
Just an employee of a major corporation. You don't own any of your content. You don't have any facilities. You're just, you're at the mercy of them. I haven't been that since 96. I broke away and started doing my own thing in 1996. I think that makes me quite the trailblazer.
Oh, for sure.
And so that being said, I've established myself. I pay your salary. You're an employee of mine. You've been with me for 23 years. You've made tens of millions of dollars being a radio co-host. You're not shoveling. You're not an architect. You're not, doing anything worthy of what a strong-backed man was. You're sitting here in a chair, in air conditioning, talking on the radio. At the end of the day, we can bitch and moan all we want, but there's real men out there that are really busting their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we are paper tigers when it comes to working like a real man. Will we all not agree? I mean,
I would agree with that.
I mean, every one of us are paper tigers. If, there's guys, down at Port Tampa right now, man, that are, driving forklifts and picking up pallets and, and there's other guys out doing construction right now. Ditch digging and roofing and, metal fabricating and truck driving, just real jobs. And you for 23 years have had this, you've been a star. I've made you a star. You had an opportunity in radio to make it on your own, and you didn't. Nobody ever made you anything except me. I'm the glue. Tell me right now of a person that's gone on other than Mike Calta, and he got promoted by being a thief. He never earned anything. And Mike Calta never went and was a radio journeyman and had to trek across America and learn the trade. No, you were an intern that I gave an opportunity to, who became a thief and basically, corrupted your way to your job. Let me know of a person that went on from the show and became a bigger star than me. Or let me even better that. Name a person on the show that even went on and did anything that was worthy of even having their own show and being able to monetize and pay a business and a payroll and a building and a facility and Social Security taxes and insurance and power and FiOS and all that stuff. The $32,000 a month it takes to run my business. So tell me right now of any host that's left on good or bad terms that's been able to do that.
Bubba's can't go 1,500 bits?
Blitz, help me. I mean, is there anybody?
Not that I know of.
So, am I not the glue?
Yep.
Is the show not the glue, or is it you? Well, there's been a lot of yous, and there's only one show that's kept chugging along, my friend. And so I was going to have a talk with him about just calming it down, just changing your negative thinking, and I'm sorry that you don't like girls in the studio on a Friday night when you don't have anything to do with it, and you're not going to work under those conditions, but you're not going to tell me that. If you want to keep working here and I want to keep doing Bubba and Janessa's smoke show, I'm going to do it. I'm sorry you don't like Janessa. She has no interaction. You are never in the building the same time she is, ever. Yes, she's a porn star. Yeah, she, you don't agree with her lifestyle. Probably a lot of people don't.
So was she not in for the whole show when she was in?
No, she would never be on the show ever when he was here.
Okay.
She was only
before she was like a full-time.
Yeah, she didn't become full-time. So yeah, as a rib, I'm thinking, hey, Blitz, it was a lot of a head rib, and the fact that, okay, you want to quit over a person, then I'll put her in. She has no radio experience, but I'll put her in there. Mm-hmm. Screw you, buddy. So that I don't know how I got down that rabbit hole. What did that all start at?
Banana bread.
That started with banana bread?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Man, I've lost my mind. We were going through the different lineups. So then after that, Seth came in. I'm just going to break everybody down. I don't care. We know how Spice Boy left. Spice Boy stole the sex tape and quit the next day. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
And then had Tom Bean negotiate his nighttime contract, because we all thought he was leaving, to better himself and be the next co. We didn't know he left because he had stolen the sex tape and it was getting ready to drop in 3 weeks.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And then we had Tuttle.
Yep.
And I think Tuttle, I could have made. I think people, are people digging this? Me breaking this down? Yeah. I think it's good radio.
Yeah.
I do.
I like learning about the history of the show.
Thank you. So, honest to God, if I was to be true to the game like I've been, I could have made Tuttle a star. He knew how to work.
Mm-hmm.
Tuttle knew how to work. He just sometimes would work too stiff. But I could have fixed that. But he was a huge alcoholic, and I think that was a huge issue.
Oh, yeah.
And, then the suicide attempt. And then Tuttle would still be here right now had he not done one thing. Let's see if you know what that one thing is that Tuttle did that made me, I'll never have Tuttle again. He did one thing. Do you know what it is?
Was that when he came back, he told him to go home, and
he tried to blame it all on me.
And then he kind of said it was your fault, for everything. And
so we bring Tuttle. Lummy and Colton are supposed to go pick up Tuttle on Thursday from the Funny Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And Tuttle called the show the day before from the Funny Farm on his own free will. And he's like, I think I get out tomorrow, boss. I said, all right, I'll send Lummy and Colton to come get you, okay, buddy? And then, of course, I'll be on the air Thursday, ready to go. And I go, hey, listen, for real. Like, I'm being 200. Like, I threw all the codes out there and everything. I'm like, listen, for real, I'm being 200. Like, go home and see your parents. His parents lived, like, in the Daytona Beach, Volusia area, like in a trailer park. But he loved, he was super close to his parents. He lived with them. And he was just, they're just really, really good people. Wayne, God bless his soul, Wayne's dad, and his mama. And his mom has gone through cancer numerous times. And Tuttle's been a great,
taking care of
kid, and taking care of his parents. And they really, really missed him because he had to live over here full time. They'd never been without him. He'd always lived with her.
He was living on Colton's couch.
So I'm like, Tuttle, you just went through something super traumatic. You're not in the right headspace. You need to go see your mom and dad, and I'll see you on Monday. No, boss, I know that you really want me, and I just know that you're saying that. I go, no. For real, buddy. Like, go see your parents. And then I even told Colton and Lummy, when you guys pick him up, tell him for real to go see his parents. Like, there's no heat. I'm not punishing him. Mm-hmm. I take it that you don't want me, Bubba, so I'm getting a 2-day suspension. No, Tuttle, buddy, I'm going to pay you. It's none of that, buddy. Just go get your head right. Come back on Monday, bud. We love you. Oh, okay. I don't know what you're getting at. Just go home. I'll see you on Monday, bud. Everything will be good. So sure enough, Anna, they pick him up. He throws a fit to Colton. And he's here at 6 on the air.
Yeah, we told him to
so
go home.
That automatically kind of puts me not in a bad mood, but I'm like, Tuttle. So we open up. I think the show's laying around here somewhere. Tuttle's Return of the Not So Funny Farm. I think it's on YouTube. I think that show's actually.
I think so.
When I threw him out. So the first opening seemed pretty good. He's talking about getting the booty juice. If you get unruly at the Funny Farm, they give you the booty juice. It's where two big guys come and hold you down on it and shoot your butt. Like Dexter Willie. And then it somehow it got into, he turned it around on me where I demanded that he had to come in today.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's not how it is, buddy. Oh, yes, it is. I know. And I finally lost it. I'm like, get out of here. Like, stop. It was far more. It was way more over the top. It was, I forget what he did. But he was like kind of trying to turn it around on me. And I was
Did
like.
Did he get pretty vocal in the room?
I just, get out.
Oh, okay. I don't know if there was like screaming and yelling.
Yeah. So then he's gone. We had the Janessa deal in here. Of course, Shannon was a couple of crews before that, and I loved having Shannon. Listen,
Shannon's not a co-host, though. That's the thing.
But the bad thing about it is Shannon isn't. Me and Shannon do brilliant radio,
right?
But we couldn't do it every day because I'm too dominant and he's too dominant.
Correct.
And we'd eventually clash heads, but we didn't. Did you know Cox hired him away?
Yes.
To try to get back at me.
Because I remember with SBK,
they knew they were.
Right?
This was in July. This was in May of 2014, and Shannon's my host. I'm still on the Bone. The Bone knows in September, I don't know this, but they know in September they're going to fire me and put Calton there. So in May, they go to Shannon Burke and say, hey, he doesn't know this, but we're getting ready to fire him in September, and you're not going to have a gig, so we'll give you middays right now if you come over here and just tell him that, he's the bad guy and he sucks and you hate him. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So he comes to me and be like, we kind of had an argument, and he says, I quit. I was like, okay. Next thing I know, he's on Cox, and they'd cut some deal. And Shannon and I have since talked about it, and he's like, I'm so sorry that I did that to you, buddy. I'm like, listen, I forgive you. I mean, if they were blowing that kind of smoke up my ass, and I would have done the same thing, trying to, you got a family to support and everything. I get it, buddy. But after it all shook down, and then 1 year later they fired him just after they'd gotten me, and they didn't need him anymore. It was real dirty the way they did that. But, Shannon and I, it has had a great dynamic. The show was really, really cool. I liked it.
Yep.
And so then we bring in Seth. And listen, I mean, I know
when
Seth.
Shannon was on the show, it was you, Shannon, and who else?
It was me, Manson, Shannon,
Your sister was there for a little while.
My sister for a little bit, and then 25 for a little bit.
Okay.
And then Shannon left, and 25 went in there full time.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to Seth. Manson quits. Janessa goes back to her boyfriend in New York or whatever. She leaves. And I bring in Seth. And it's like, oh, my God. I remember even telling Blitz, oh, my God. I love this guy. I love the dynamic this guy has. Yep. He's funny. He's got me laughing. He knows the show. He's great.
He's quick.
But he's super quick. But Seth is polarizing. And Chat is brutal on a nose.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth just couldn't handle it. It's just he's just not wired to necessarily be getting hit, in all directions from all the directions you get hit here.
Mm-hmm. And neither am I, but I just don't look.
Right.
He would look.
Oh, yeah, he would look and participate.
Yeah, it messes me up too, but then I'm like, okay, we just don't look at it during the show.
Well, Seth wanted out of radio,
Yeah.
He said he never wanted to do radio.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if Seth, I wouldn't, I know this probably pisses everybody off, but I'd bring Seth back. I would. But I don't know that his mentals, can handle it.
No, we got too much of a good thing going on now anyway. We actually like each other now.
Right, Seth... Like Seth always had some kind of hatred for somebody. He was mad at somebody. I was just like, I cannot. But I wasn't gonna. Seth quit.
Mm-hmm.
What did he quit over?
It was about a year ago. We had an interaction on the air.
That's right. You two.
Dan asked him to call someone.
Yeah, he went and called somebody.
What?
Dan's buddy's kid's
son.
Oh yeah,
remember? Yeah.
So anyway, Seth quit. He's the one that suggested I bring Anna in. I didn't even know who Anna was. And Seth was, like, hey, man, she's pretty good. She's pretty quick. I'll stick my neck out for her. So then I meet Anna. We bring her in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little awkward at first. She was still getting her legs about herself.
It was awkward for a few months.
And, Seth is all about not anything being any different, like any type of awkwardness or whatever freaked him out. And just whatever, he left. I love Seth. I would never say a bad word about Seth. I would have Seth back on anytime he's got anything to promote. I'll certainly help him. I consider him a friend. I know his parents. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to throw this out here. Not that I would replace anybody here, but I would hire Drew Garabo. I'd hire Drew Garabo. Not that he could be on this show. Because he's a natural host, but I would, set him up on our Bubba world, much like Howard did me, and I was Howard's afternoon drive on his network. I would talk to Drew Garabo about doing that in my world if we could work out the numbers. And I threw it out there. Does that hurt? I hope that doesn't hurt the guy. I mean, I hope that doesn't make people at Cox want to fire him. But if they did, I'm here for you, buddy. You know what? I would say Drew Garabo is probably my next hire. It's a natural progression. But you think Drew gets heat over that, or do you think?
I sure hope not, because we don't have health insurance, and I think he needs that.